Yeah, when I think about what I'm going to make for a shooter, I don't really worry about the competition. The kind of game that I would make is really the kind of game that's out there that everyone's playing. You know, like there's Call of Duty and all the games out there that have you know, almost like just a tunnel to get to the end. You know, you have a lot of explosions and Michael Bay effects going off everywhere. You know, and then finally reach the end, which there's only one way to get it.
Go to college at the age of 11 to learn how to code. And there were very few people who even knew how to code. He sent Michael to a college to learn. We're teaching Mesa, that's my 12-year-old, she's learning how to code at home, simply because there's no way the school is going to teach her how to code. So that's her, we created her gifted program for her, and we're teaching her how to code. But it doesn't matter where you learn. You will get a coding test and you will be tried on your skill. How you get your skill is up to you. You know, some people do great under formal education. He went to college for, I think, a semester and a half and quit because he felt like everybody else was getting ahead of him. And while they were coding, he was sitting there learning economics, and he thought, this is stupid, I need to be coding. So he quit college, and obviously it paid off. But ultimately, it's how will you best do that? How do you best learn? Some people do learn best in a formal education. Yeah, I mean, some people learn best formally. Nowadays, there's so much free courseware online. It's just crazy. You can learn so much.
Actually, most of my education was self-taught.
Good.
I go to school and everything, but really, I mean, some new classes that I have to fill in the whole my education because I'm missing school. I'm skipping school, so I have to take all the internet.
Do you know Prince? Have you ever heard of Prince of Persia, that game?
Yeah.
So when Jordan Mechner was making Karateka, he was going to college at the time, and he actually kept a notebook to say, I skipped this class this day to work on this game, so that he wouldn't skip a class twice in a row. So he actually kept detailed notes on which classes he was skipping. I'm not advocating failing. I mean, ultimately, having taught at a college level, when kids went to college and they wasted their parents' money to screw around, some part of me wanted to just say, you idiot, this is thousands of dollars your parents are flushing it down the toilet. It's almost better to just say, listen, I really want to, let me spend 2 years and work my butt off and learn how to code, instead of spending the money on college. If that's what you want to do. Are you still in high school or are you in college?
Not college.
Okay.
Computer science.
Okay. Well, just, code, it's useful. If you do have a degree, it'll get you in the door of certain places. John doesn't care at all about it. What he cares about is how well can you code. There was this guy, I don't even know if we know the education of most of our coders.
You don't care about it?
We don't care, it's how good can you code. There's one guy that who's amazing. He did this one test. I forget how he'd have to explain it because I'm not a coder. But he did this ridiculous thing in 15 minutes and blew John away.
What other skills should a programmer have to be valuable for the game industry?
Create games. Like, just make as many games as you possibly can. To show that you really love to do that this is like your actual calling and you're not doing this for the money. One of the biggest things that I can't stand, and this happens in Silicon Valley, it may not happen over the rest of the normal world, is when people come in and before they even ask what project they're working on, they ask what their stock options are. And they're in it for the money. And if you're in games for the money, I mean, sure, is there money in games? Yeah, there's a lot of money in games. But if you're in it for the money, you won't make the money. Yeah, it's just guaranteed. You will not make the money if that's what you're in it for. I mean, I'm in it because I don't have a choice. I will make games whether people pay me to or not. I love them. It's all I've ever done. And for a programmer, it's also important. So with Michael, his son, what he did is he actually created a portfolio for Michael. Well, he did create it. He told Michael, make a portfolio. So he actually had his code printed out and annotated so they could see how well he commented. He showed that he could use these different languages, and he actually had this really good code portfolio that surprised companies that he was interviewing for. Including the games that he had made and all that other stuff. And so that was very valuable. And be able to speak Don't overstate your fluency in certain code. Like one guy, this poor man, came to Loot Drop to interview and said he knew how to program an assembly language, which was just testing John more or less. And John started asking questions, and the guy just fell apart. That didn't. John just kept asking him more and more questions. Programmers need, as a designer, it's important for me that programmers communicate really well. Like ahead of getting out of college, work with other people to make games. Do whatever you have to do. Do you guys do a game jam down here?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there should be some.
We need
like that. Like,
so I'm going to be bugging Juan endlessly until a game jam happens in Mexico.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so if you just did a weekend game jam where you guys are, busting your ass to get together to make a game, it doesn't even make a piece of garbage, just make a game. I mean, my earliest games were garbage.
I had an issue. Remember Ian's online course?
Yes,
so
but they do the global game jam.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, this is going to be, I'm going to bother, he will not.
I tried to form like a study group because I couldn't register because I was late.
Global game jam.
Yeah, you can follow Ian's course.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, follow him. He's on Twitter. It's Juan_Aranda on Twitter. You can follow him and start bugging him for next year's Global Game Jam, because I will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? It would be cool. I don't know, when do they do the Global Game Jam? It would be cool if we came down for it. I'm just looking for another excuse to come back to Mexico.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. That's the thing.
We need to leave.
We need to leave. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm an expert at getting him out of here. But keep coding. It's awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Well, let's come out here and do this.
Just in terms of difficulty, I hate it because I hate it that a game actually has to take my hand and
I know.
You press up, so you go up.
You've seen if Quake was made today.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it. Right.
It's the same thing,
Exactly.
And we have to do that in our games on Facebook because people on Facebook are not used to playing games at all. So you have to have circles that click here. This is what you just did.
Yeah.